What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only Tesla stock and what you should be looking after for the future. I'm also going to do some in-depth technical analysis and give you guys my price prediction for tomorrow based off what the charts are showing and based off what the data is suggesting. I'm also going to break down what the data is showing for Tesla and the overall market and what's going on with Elon Musk and the Twitter deal, as we do have some very big updates coming out. Now, before I break anything down about the news and talk about the share price of Tesla and what's going on, I do have to mention a couple of things before starting. Firstly, I'm not a financial planner. Don't take any of this as financial advice whatsoever. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. And not only benefits me, it benefits the entire Tesla community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you're guaranteed up to 12 free stocks, each worth up to $2,000. And the best part is, any of these 12 free stocks could be a free Tesla share, a free NEO share, or a mix of all of them. It's a limited time offer that ends in just 2 weeks. Check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So, looking at Tesla, we're down about 1.11% for the day, but Tesla is starting to make some higher lows and it is actually starting to push up a bit. We are showing some strength as of right now. Now, the thing about my essential prediction and what's going on with Tesla, it's also very dependent on the news right now, because right now we are seeing a lot of these like Fed speakers speaking out, saying very hawkish things that is causing the market to kind of trade sideways and see lots of chop and some downside. However, the bigger thing really affecting Tesla would be this whole Twitter deal, as we do have some big updates I'm going to discuss a little bit later. Now, right now, what's good about Tesla is we are seeing some volume starting to pick up. Tesla was dropping on high volume, which is why it was looking pretty bearish before. But the good thing is the volume slowed down a bit today, as Tesla was starting to actually form a bit of a bottom. And if we do see a continuation of high volume, it is possible for Tesla to actually reverse in the opposite direction. Now, 2 days ago, I believe it was, Tesla got the first day of 100 million in volume for the last few weeks. That was the first time, and I really believe that this could be a good sign at the same time if Tesla is ready for that big reversal. Now, when it comes to the overall market, there is a lot of uncertainty thanks to what the Fed is doing and also other factors. And the fear and greed index is still pretty fearful right now. We're not in extreme fear or major capitulation as of right now. And what the market is doing is very dependent on these external factors. Now, one thing that's very interesting about the SPY once this loads is the fact that we can actually see the options chain right here. So looking right here, on the options chain, we actually have a lot of these expirations for the October 7th date. We have max pain at 375 and a 2.04 puts to call ratio. So the majority of investors are loading in on puts. They've been buying tons of puts. And this was actually lower a couple of days ago when the market was pushing up. So this means that more people were actually buying puts, lots of retail especially, and seeing all this crazy chop in the markets. It is also translating to Tesla, seeing the SPY, the Nasdaq just chopping back and forth and back and forth. What's happening is the market makers are taking advantage of all these retail investors buying into the puts, not to mention lots of institutions too, at least for the most part. And what they do is they tend to actually cause the opposite to happen, kind of screwing over those investors and making money in the process. Now, max pain is 375. There is a possibility they could actually push up the market a bit to cause the most pain for investors. And this is what they're likely going to do, in my honest opinion. Now, as far as Tesla goes, we do have some good signs right over here. Now, for some reason, all my tabs are reloading when I click on them. I apologize for that. But looking at Tesla, the overall summary, we could see right here, Tesla is continuing to come down a bit. But we are seeing a bit of an increase in its relative strength in some ways, because Tesla was dropping over the last couple of days. We saw this big decrease in the price pairs ratio, especially yesterday and the days before. But now it's actually starting to respect a slight uptrend from this range right here. And Tesla's actually starting to show signs of a bottom at that 233 level. Now, what else is interesting is Goldman Sachs and many other big investors are giving Tesla these big buy ratings, which is a good sign because more investors are gaining confidence. And historically, on Fridays, we tend to actually have red days for Tesla. However, there is a difference I want to talk about that can actually change that. Going down, we've seen a lot of shorting, guys. Lots and lots of these shorts are just piling in on Tesla. Big increase in the short interest for Tesla given these volume nodes. Now, the overall volume, like I mentioned, it has been going up. We don't actually have to look at that. But what else is very important would be that short volume percentage. Let me just actually pull that up real quick. The overall volume today was kind of average, but the short volume percentage, which is way down here, we did actually see this increase just slightly for yesterday, and we did see it at about 44%. I think it's actually starting to actually trade kind of sideways from this range. So we aren't seeing as much shorting as we have been seeing over the last couple of days. Now, shorting, in my opinion, has been increasing on Tesla, but it looks like some shorts may actually slow down tomorrow and during the later days when we start to see this short volume percentage come down. So even though the short interest is high, I don't think that the shorts are going to be piling in as hard unless something big happens involving this whole Twitter fiasco. So now looking at some data for Tesla, we do have a big piece of news that came out. Big investors have actually upgraded Tesla to an investment grade company. That's a very good sign because down here we could see Tesla has been officially upgraded to an investment grade long-term credit rating by the S&P Global Ratings. So this is making lots of investors more excited and more comfortable in investing in Tesla. Now, to me, it's pretty surprising that this wasn't announced way earlier, considering the fact that they've been profitable for over 2 years at this point. They have tons of cash on hand, and I really believe that it doesn't really matter from this point because we did see a big increase in buying when this announcement was made. However, there are other external factors that will affect Tesla, such as these big articles coming out involving Elon Musk. The first article states that Elon Musk's lawyers are saying that Twitter is refusing the new $44 billion bid for the company. Now, I don't necessarily know if that's going to be like that big of an effect for the long term, but right now there is a lot of these like legal ramifications, a lot of legal action on both sides of the parties. And I really hope that this does end up happening in Elon Musk's favor because he does seem a lot more committed to actually buying Twitter. He also mentioned the fact that he wants to make a lot of big improvements to the company. We are seeing the litigation battle just continuing over and over again. And this is not the best for Tesla because this is leading to some more chop here and there and lots of uncertainty about that. Now, the thing is, Elon Musk was supposed to go on trial, I believe, on like October 17th. As of right now, he does seek to actually stop that from happening. But once again, we don't know for sure just yet because I've seen different sources stating that he may actually be forced to. Once again, we still have to wait on the data for this, but it's still looking like this whole deal is leading to another big mess. And that's the reason why I'm still not as confident on Tesla just like exploding overnight. Things could actually go south if this is not really going on to our favor. Now, Elon Musk also mentioned this right here. He mentioned the fact that selling Tesla stock to buy Twitter is like selling caviar to buy $2 pizza. So the bottom line is Elon Musk is informing everyone that look, you guys may be uncertain, you guys may be worried about this whole Twitter fiasco, but Tesla is still a great company. Please do not let this really get into your heads. Now, the last thing I wanted to mention is this right here. I think that this person known as like Spidey Elon fan, they mentioned something that really sums up everything. They said that Elon Musk's Twitter will be a wild ride. His deal to buy the company is back on, and we're seeing like these big reports claiming that every single Twitter employee they've spoken to in the last 6 months has stated they want to leave the company if Musk takes over. I mean, the media is ranting again, guys. I mean, we're seeing these crazy headlines and articles coming out. Musk actually laughed at this. I think it's pretty funny to see people actually believe that and actually state things like that. And in my honest opinion, there's still a lot of unknowns about this whole Twitter deal. We don't know if Elon Musk does end up buying it and everything goes smoothly. We don't know if he's going to be acquiring a new CEO to lead the company. That's very possible. At the same time, some people believe he'll just be CEO as the main shareholder. And I mean, it's a big mess. I don't really want to go down any rabbit holes. I just want to make it clear that we can't say anything until the actual data comes out, until the actual news comes out. So what's going to happen to Tesla's share price from this point on? Well, if you look at the technicals, you will notice that Tesla has been making these higher lows for quite a bit of time, at least for this trading day, but we have been chopping for the most part. This thing is just going back and forth between support and resistance levels. We didn't really pick one main side to really push to the upside. We do have a wedge that kind of formed right here. You could draw it out, but I want to make something very clear. It looks to me like 233 is where we actually got that big bounce. I think that was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. And that does appear to be the temporary bottom for Tesla, and we should continue to the upside from here. Now, that happens to be the 0.707 retracement from a fib perspective. But here's one thing you have to know. As an investor and as a trader, you always have to be prepared for anything. So, what I want to do is go over the more bearish and bullish possibilities and talk about something you need to know. If Tesla breaks below 233, hypothetically, If that were to happen, let's just say that like the Twitter deal closes, there's some huge announcement that comes out of nowhere, because right now Tesla's heavily dependent on the news right now. So if Tesla does break below 233, not saying it's going to happen, it's very unlikely, but if it does happen, 226 is where we're going to get that big bounce, in my opinion, because that's where the 0.786 retracement would be. Now, I don't, like I said, I don't really think that's going to happen. It's just one possibility. It seems more like we're either going to retest 233 tomorrow, get a nice bounce off that, and then continue to push to the upside from there. And we could actually see Tesla see maybe like a squeeze or like some really nice volume to really help it push to the upside. I believe that over the next couple of days, the next couple of trading days, Tesla's going to go for this gap fill up here and actually push and approach that 250 zone very, very soon. So I am still more bullish than bearish, at least for the time being. What I'm liking about Tesla, though, is the fact that when you look at the data right now, we are seeing this big increase in volume for the week. So I'm thinking that this volume could actually show some life for tomorrow, and especially for like next Monday, for Tesla to really start pushing up from here, as it is very oversold. Stocks can't just like crash so much in one day without getting some relief rallies. And if you notice Tesla, over the last couple of days, this thing has just been dropping and dropping and dropping super fast over just a couple of days. And that is not necessarily normal, nor is that like something that should happen without some relief. So I am seeing some relief coming very soon. I do believe that 233 should be the temporary bottom, and we should get a bounce from here. Now, where will Tesla go to if that is the case? You have to watch support and resistance levels and also what the overall market is doing. Looking at SPY, I do anticipate lots of chop even for Tesla, but I do think we're going to start respecting a slight uptrend from here on out. Coming down, we have support at 235. So watch that very carefully. We actually got a bounce off this today. I mentioned this zone yesterday. And if we come below that somehow, then 233 is where we should get a nice bounce. Then the next support zone would be 230 and then 226. Once again, another very big bounce zone if we do come down. Very unlikely though. We're more likely to get a big push to the upside. We have resistance around that 240 zone, followed by the very low 240 zone, which we've kind of like tested many times. And I think we're going to get a nice break above that very soon. And if we get a very good break above that, this thing might push up pretty hard and actually come all the way up to the high 240s. Very possible in a short period of time, considering how Tesla moves and how volume really tends to come in as buyers start stepping in. So for tomorrow, what could end up happening is a move like this. Tesla could start like this, come down a bit. All right, completely normal. I want to see a bounce off 235. I'm hoping we actually get a bounce off there. If the market does come down a little bit hard, since it is a Friday and volume tends to not be as high on different tickers, what could happen is Tesla either bounces off 235, if not 233 one last time. And I'm hoping for a nice double bottom that forms there, followed by a very good bounce from here, and Tesla starts to push up. I'm hoping that as the day goes on, some buyers really start to come in, Tesla retests resistance, and it actually ends up coming back to this key zone around that low 240 level. Sees a little bit of chop here and there, and hopefully a nice push up after that, going into like the power hour. I am anticipating a slight green day for Tesla like this, completely normal. Now, if it doesn't happen this soon, there is potential for this to actually start happening next week. Now, if that isn't the case, you have to always remember it depends on the news, it depends on CPI coming out next week, and also depends on this whole Twitter fiasco. But as of right now, I think a lot of the news is already priced in. People are already prepared for Elon Musk to buy it, and I don't really anticipate anything very kind of like dire will happen that quickly. Now, one thing that could be a concern though is some people talking about Elon Musk selling some Tesla shares. I saw lots of articles talking about that. In my opinion, this is not confirmed as of right now at the time I'm recording this. So we can't make any claims about that just yet. So please be very prepared. I also could say one last thing. I can't note exactly who this is, but there have been a lot of buyers on Tesla from institutions. We've seen a lot of piling in, especially calls for tomorrow. So I wouldn't be surprised if this thing comes down a bit, gets a nice bounce and a big push for the close. And if it doesn't happen that soon, I am anticipating next week to actually see a big push up again, followed by this nice gap to get filled very soon and a nice move from Tesla. With that said, guys, thank you all so much for listening. Please enjoy the rest of your day. Remain calm, cool, and collected, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Tesla to the moon because the long term future is very bright, and peace out.